Hey yo, I am the star in any room that I stand in. I am the standout, you just my stand-in. These bitches copy my homework, that's what they hand in. That's why I'm private like the airports I land in. Life is a beach house, don't let the sand in. I ball in any arena, go let the fans in.
What's up, y'all? I hope all is well. So, my birthday is coming up in a few days. Ew, shout out to the Scorpios. Scorpio season in the house. But anyway, so since my birthday is coming up in a few days, I want to do this story time about a situation I had while planning a little birthday outing for myself a few years back. This was within the last 4 years, so kind of recently, kind of not. But anyway, so it's a funny story because it connects to all of the bullshit that I be talking about on my channel, and it was one of the motivating factors for why I started talking about these topics. I mean, there were a lot of different situations that I had, not only when I was younger, but recently within the last like few years of my life that really motivated me to continue talking about these topics and things. But this is absolutely one of them. So in this story time, I want to talk about how I invited a mutual friend of me and my cousins out to the club with us, and the club that I chose to go to was a Dominican club, and this girl basically lied on me and the club that I chose and accused us of being Dominican colorists. See, you can see that this is a theme within my life. Um this is the third story I've told y'all where this has happened to me. But she had already made it clear that she wasn't too fond of light-skinned black people anyway, and literally didn't see us as her people anyway, English or Spanish speaking or not. So I just want to get into that situation and tell y'all about it, and also speak to y'all about how lightism, especially lightism when it combines with xenophobia, can just be a very nasty prejudice, uncomfortable situation for light-skinned and mixed women specifically, and oftentimes leaves us in situations of being isolated, or of being left out, or of being the one that people sacrifice in the friend group, in the sense, or the work group or whatever, in the sense of your emotions and your comfort is sacrificed so everybody else can be in grouped and you can be out grouped, basically, even on your fucking birthday. And this situation also completely debunks a lot of the silly stereotypes that they try to put out there, that the light skinned girl is always the one who gets attention and always the one that's popular, and we just have it so much easier and everybody just drops to our feet and we don't have to have worry about any of these social things, and we're just over exaggerating about the way that we're treated by other black women and girls. Okay, so since we're all just over exaggerating, we shouldn't all have a whole bunch of stories dating back to the 1860s, 1960s, 80s, 90s, today's R&B, like literally everybody over the multiple generations cannot be lying. But anyway, so I just wanted to tell y'all about this story. So let's get into it. So just for a little backstory to set up the situation, I always got kind of a weird vibe. Well, I won't say I got a weird vibe, but I always had kept an eye on one of my cousin's friends from college. And we're gonna call her BB. Anyway, so we're gonna call her BB, and we're going to call my cousin Sierra. So if I forget those names, just go with the letters. So if you're confused about who the fuck I'm talking about, go with the first letter. But anyway, so basically, BB and Sierra were friends in college, and I never had an issue with her, whatever. She seemed normal to me, whatever. Looks don't matter or whatever, but in this scenario, I'm not gonna say they kind of do, but I just definitely notice a pattern with certain people, and that sounds like so like elitist, but it's not even like that. I just notice a pattern of certain women that present certain ways, always trying to like socially kind of X certain people out. Let me just say that. So BB is not by any means unattractive, or not a cute woman. But I will say, like, just to give you an idea of how she presents herself, I assumed that she was gay and like the stereotypical masculine type of gay. Like, come to find out, she's not. But that's what I assumed. And she's not on the heavier side, but just has a little bit more BMI. So y'all probably thinking, oh, why are you bringing this up? This is so shallow, whoop de woo. And I'm bringing this up just to put in the contrast of how she really doesn't really fit in with the rest of Sierra's college friends, because the rest of Sierra's college friends are black girls of all skin tones, brown skin, dark skin, light skin. They all very, very pretty girls, body on point, like go to the gym, body. Some of them got their bodies done, go to the gym all the time. Always have their hair done, nails done, very hyper feminine, and even my cousin Sierra is not like that, but that's what type of group these girls are. So it's like Sierra and her friends, and then it's just BB just there. And that was kind of another reason why, I'm gonna be honest with you, I assumed her and her best friend, I kind of assumed that they kind of were like a thing, because they kind of look like it, like, honestly, and it just looks so out of place. But I'm just saying. So anyway, and again, this is not any type of judgment on her, trying to say that she's any less of a woman or I'm any better or below her or nothing. I'm just like, the reality of the world is the reality of the world. And so I'm only giving this context because prior to my birthday situation, probably like 3 or 4 years before the birthday situation went down, I always kind of kept an eye on BB through my slanty eyes, because my cousin had told me how basically during the BLM protests, and mind you, this side of my family that this particular cousin is on is my African American side, and I told y'all how my African American side is MGM also. So my African American side, almost everybody is brown skin or light skin. So this BB chick, she only knows the light skinned people. We have mostly brown skinned people in our family, but she only happens to know my cousin's immediate family and me, and we all happen to be light skinned, right? She simply just doesn't know the rest of our family. She just doesn't know anything. People are ignorant. But anyways, so mind you, BB is African American also, brown skinned African American chick. But apparently I'm making this up. Anyway, apparently I was over exaggerating in my last video, and really light skinned women are the aggressors. Okay, so anyway, this is a very interesting phenomenon that's going on. This shit is not coming from nowhere. People are clearly getting these ideas probably online. But anyway, so she basically tells my cousin Sierra that she doesn't really consider our family to be an actual black family, and she actually agrees that it contributes to actual black erasure when people like our family and Stephen Curry's, this is where her exact words, that she thinks it's black erasure when we are considered black families, because she doesn't really consider our family black. Like, first of all, bitch, you don't even know the fact that both of my parents and all my siblings except for 2 are non-light skinned. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how is that physically possible? So the rest of our family is black, but we're not. So because you've only seen the light-skinned people, our family is not black. And that's why I be trying to say, it's really not about genetics with these people. It's really about phenotype and skin color. They try to hide behind genetics, hide behind who's biracial and who's black, and pretend that they care about who's monoracial. They really don't give a shit. Their real issue is the way that we look. Their real issue with light-skinned black people and biracial people is the way that we look. It's really not as much about our genetics as they try to make it seem, because if that was the case, we should not be having these types of issues with other African American people who are also technically monoracially black. So the math is not mathing. Why have I had multiple incidents like this with other African American people, and I'm a black person too? But if this is all about y'all just wanted to gatekeep from biracials, no, it's not. It's about y'all issue and insecurity towards light-skinned people in general. Let's be real here. And it extends to Dominicans and Afro-Latinos as well. So I'm just gonna be honest with you. I kept it cute, but I never really liked the bitch after that because I just find that to be mad disrespectful that my cousin Sierra is venting to you about her feelings about the BLM protests and everything that's going on racially in this country, and then you're gonna turn around and be like, well, I don't really even consider your family black like that. This is why I don't have empathy for these bitches, and then they want to hide behind colorism, and a lot of them, I'm sorry, I don't even, especially the way BB looks, I'm not even really convinced that colorism or so-called erasure is really something that she is really even worried about. And that's not to diminish anybody's experiences or to say that she's never experienced colorism, but I just have to be honest with you, a lot of brown skin African Americans are completely over exaggerating their experiencing colorism, and they're trying to take on dark skinned people's story and experience in order to be victims of light skinned people. And a lot of this started around the BLM protests and around the pandemic. Before that, a lot of brown skinned people would have had a fucking spasm if you called them dark skinned. But now all of a sudden, because it's beneficial to be dark skinned and they get victim points and get to, guilt trip light skinned people, now all of a sudden they want to be dark skinned or want to try to ostracize or have issues with light skinned people on pretending to be on behalf of dark skinned people. It's extremely obnoxious. But yeah, and again, I'm not trying to beat up on brown skinned people, but gotta call the bullshit for what it is. Like, and I've been sick of the bullshit for a while, and I tried to keep it cute, just like I tried to keep it cute with this bitch, and the disrespect just continues. But anyway, like, I'm entitled to my feelings about her opinions, but my cousin decided to continue to be friends with her and forgave her for those ignorant comments. So like I said, I just decided to keep it cute with her and keep it underwater under the bridge. So when I was planning an event for my birthday and I knew I wanted baddies in the section with me, I knew I was going to invite her other friends. And of course, I did not want to make BB feel excluded. And I did not want to just leave her out, just because of some comments that she said 5 years ago, or however many years it had been at that point. So I just, I still decided to invite her because they're a whole little clique. So, anyways, I invited all of them to go out because these are all the type of girls that go out in nightlife. Like, this is the type of girls like that we hang out with. I've already said this before. So you got a bunch of baddies, IG baddies basically, and just this and BB, right? So we all gonna go to the club, right? And for my birthday, and I told them like, oh, just we're going to dinner, you could come, whatever, or not. And so it first started off as a few of them being like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna have to work in the morning, but we could probably make it to the club. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool, I'll just keep the dinner intimate and we'll all go out to the club. So that was my original plan, that we were, that's what they were going to join us for. So like it starts getting closer to the day that we're gonna go out, probably like 3 or 4 days or so. And so I'm just getting a final head count so that I could tell the promoter how many girls to expect. And so I'm getting a head count from them. I asked the other girls, they're like, yeah, we still down, whatever. So then I messaged BB and she didn't get back to me and I hadn't heard from her. And I'm like, okay, actually, I'm jumping the gun. It wasn't a few days. It was actually probably like a week or so before, because it was still some time, because I was waiting for her to get back to me, but she never contacted me. Yeah, it was probably like 2 weeks before, honestly, because it was some time, because the time frame plays into why this bitch was even more trifling. So so I probably hit her up like probably 2 weeks before we supposed to go out, and the other girls was still down and everything. So I hit her up just to confirm in advance. She doesn't get back to me. I gave her like 3 or 4 days or something. So then I'm talking to my cousin Sierra on the phone and I'm asking her like, oh, do you think that BB is expected to come? And she was like, to be honest, I don't know how she's feeling about it, because she was telling me that she doesn't really feel comfortable about going to that club because she was looking at the pictures and it looks like it's only Dominicans there, and like we're gonna be the only black girls there, and it's like they might treat us like some type of way because we don't speak Spanish, and like we're just gonna be the only black girls there. Mind you, I speak broken Spanglish. I have plenty of other friends that are also Afro Latina that speak Spanish as their first language. I got friends that are not even black that were gonna go that speak Spanish. The language thing was not an issue. I would not have fucking chose a Dominican club that I could not communicate with the people at. And just because it's a Dominican club don't mean nobody gonna speak English. How the fuck you think they opened up a business? Like, you really think only Spanish people go to this club? Mind you, this is not some old head cigar, 8-ball table bar. This was a young people bar. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, they've literally filmed Love and Hip Hop New York in this bar. This is how like established this type of place is. Like, this is a club. Like, multiple times they used to always film Love and Hip Hop seasons 1 and 2 in this club. If you're from New York, it's a very popular spot. Keyword, if you're from New York. BB, I didn't know this, but BB is from, basically she's from kind of like somewhere that's like New Hampshire. So New Hampshire is like probably an hour and 45 minutes from like New York City, but it's like living in a completely different state. It's nothing like growing up or living in New York City. So you can grow up close to New York City, but you had no idea of the New York City experience. She had only moved out to the city recently for school. And so I'm bringing this up because, like, when you grow up in New York City and you grow up going to these Dominican areas or going to Jamaican areas, going to, Koreatown, going to all these places, and going to their different bars and stuff like that, it's not really a big deal to you. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, in New York, people don't really think like that. Like, oh, I'm not gonna go here because I'm black. Or I'm not going to this Mexican spot because, like, that's not really a huge thing. Like, I know it's in other places, but it's not really a big thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the places that are exclusive for immigrants and for those communities, your ass wouldn't know about it anyway. Your ass would not even know about the exclusive Dominican spots where they are gonna treat you like that. You wouldn't. They're not gonna be on Instagram. They damn sure not gonna be on Love and Hip Hop. So yeah, so I feel like the fact that she's not native to New York, and she didn't grow up here, and she didn't grow up around Afro Latinos or Dominicans or anything, I feel like that really plays into like her, why she reacted like this. But anyway, so bringing it back to the conversation I'm having with my cousin Sierra over the phone, this is like 2 weeks before we supposed to go to the club. And so I'm just like, okay, so she's basically saying that she doesn't feel comfortable about going to the Dominican club because she doesn't want to be the only African American girls there, when she won't, or she's concerned about the language barrier. Like, whoa, what's the problem? And she was like, oh, I don't know, she's just feeling iffy, blah 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 blah. So I was already starting to get annoyed, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I was hoping she would just decide to just not go if it was that serious. Because again, I already had that whole, I don't really consider your light-skinned family to be black. I already had that whole little ignorant comment in the back of my head. So I'm already like, this bitch is really like treading on thin ice with me. Like, and I'm starting to see a pattern. Like, 4 years later, you still worried about this shit, sis? So anyway, I was just like, whatever, I'm not gonna let it stress me out. So then, like, 2 or 3 days go by, so me and my cousin talk like almost every day, basically. So I asked her again, I'm like, has BB given you any heads up? Because, like, I see her posting and she's completely ignoring my messages, and I want to give this dude a head count soon, or at least just get my plan together. And she was like, to be honest, like, I don't know how they're feeling now, because BB actually was telling us that she heard that the club that you chose, that it actually has a history of racism, and that they don't let a lot of black girls in, and she had heard about that. And so we were talking about it, and so now she doesn't know if she wants to go, and she's maybe feeling like maybe we should try to find another place. So I'm listening to this nonsense on the other end of the phone, getting triggered, fixing to go into a light skin rage. And so I'm like, wait, what do you mean that she did research on the place and found out about some racism and y'all were talking about it? Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, she said that she's heard of the place. Mind you, a bitch who had just moved there, like, almost less than 3 years ago, half the time she was living in a damn dorm. But I'm supposed to believe that you know about this spot? Okay. Mind you, I don't even know if that point I had really even given them any real details. But you over here talking about you had done research. Not only was she claiming that she had done quote unquote research on the club, she had also ran to their little clique group chat and started talking shit about the place to me. Which I'm not, about, talking shit about the place to them, but never responded to my text message after I had asked her a few times, like, hey, do you still want to go? Oh, I just want to head count, whatever. Like, I wasn't being one of those annoying people who keep hitting you up, but I did at least message her like twice within like 5 days or so, and she never responded. But this bitch in the group chat popping shit. Like, so when she told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, she has not responded to me. And she was like, oh, I'm talking to Sierra. And I'm like, your friend has not responded to me. So if she's saying this in the group chat, she needs to say this to me, because if the club really is racist and she doesn't really have real evidence of this, then I need to make different arrangements. So if she has real evidence that there really is an issue, she needs to let me know now, because at this point it was like a few days away, like a week away or so. And she was like, okay, I'll have her contact you, and I'll have her send over whatever you sent her, whatever she has. And so I know this bitch didn't have any real evidence, because my cousin said, okay, I'm gonna go in the group chat right now and I'm going to ask her to put the evidence in the group chat, and then I'm gonna send it to you, because I don't know why she's not responding. And I'm like, okay, cool, because it's like, I genuinely, like, if it's a colorist place or it's a racist place, just let me know, I'll find another spot. That's not the problem. So I know BB did not have no evidence, because my cousin said she didn't put anything in the group chat and she was not responding. So there was never no evidence. So, it's getting closer to the day. Again, this bitch is not responding to me. And so it's probably like 2 days or so before the event. And like, the whole like couple days like leading up to it, I was having a lot of anxiety, not only because like socially, like at that time I still like had a lot of anxiety surrounding like planning events and like inviting people out, just like I wasn't sure how things were gonna go, or if something was gonna happen, or like if everything was gonna go smooth, you know what I mean, like just natural like human stuff to when you're planning something for your birthday. But on top of the fact that this bitch is over here planting seeds and saying that the place is going to be racist, and I just had like mad anxiety also, because like I understand Spanish, but I don't speak it that good. So if something was a problem, I don't know how good that I would be able to like advocate or like interfere, something like that. So like I just had like mad anxiety, especially because this girl is not responding to me or saying anything to me directly, but she's clearly in their group chat talking about the situation, because it had been 2 weeks and my cousin had been saying that she was saying this but would not reach out to me. And so I was getting really frustrated, and I was even like low-key getting mad at my cousin Sierra too, because I'm like, fuck this bitch, like why are you like trying to, like, I get that that's your friend and you're trying to like keep both like relationships, like you're trying to maintain their autonomy, and like granted, like I guess I shouldn't have even included your friends. I would, if I knew it was gonna be this much drama, I wouldn't have even done it. And that's the thing about it, it can just be one person that brings mad drama. The other girls were down to go and were not bothering me about the situation. We're not saying nothing. It was her. And why am I not surprised that the same broad that was saying, oh, I don't really consider light-skinned families to be black, is it a surprise that the same girl who has these clearly lightest sentiments towards light-skinned black people is dropping seeds about a Dominican spot and accusing it of being racist and trying to sabotage my birthday? I don't think there's any coincidence about that. I think that these people, it's easy to sniff them out. They clearly have a certain pathology and a certain bias towards light-skinned and mixed people. It is what it is. And it's like, that's fine. You can have your biases, but why you gotta sit in my fucking face? Why you want to sit in group chats with us? Why you want to come to the club with us? Why you want to fake be our friend? Why you want to sit up and eat our mama's food that they make for us, for you? Like, I hate the fake shit. And she reminds me exactly of that bitch I got into the situation with the trans stuff in. She was the same way, want to sit up and pretend to be my friend for the benefits, but low-key you sitting up here trying to take this high and mighty approach, talking about, oh, she's Dominican and colorist. Like, bitch, if I was Dominican colorist, why you didn't say it to my face in my house? Why was you smoking my colorist weed? It doesn't make any sense, right? Why was you doing that? Like, it makes no sense. Like, it literally makes no sense. They want to be around you and they want the benefits of being around you. They want the benefits of being your friend, but they want to sit up here and dish you and do mad underhanded shit. It's mad annoying. And light-skinned people don't move like that and don't do shit like that. If we're disrespectful, we're fucked up people, we just do that shit to the front. If we're colorist or ignorant, we just up front with it. Y'all are the ones that do all this underhanded, backhanded shit and be trying to sit up in our faces and be our friends and be on this weird shit. I just gotta be honest. And I'm not even saying that light-skinned people are perfect, but we are not as underhanded, as sneaky, or or calculated with the shit that we do when it comes to this shit. When light skinned people say colorist or ignorant shit, we just say it. We not sitting up here trying to destroy people's birthdays and, going on smear campaigns against them. By and large, we don't do shit like that. So it is a day before my birthday. Mind you, 2 weeks had gone by where this girl is talking mad shit, saying that the club I chose was colorist, yet could not provide any evidence for that until 24 hours before the fact. And this also just shows you how a lot of, unfortunately, I just gotta be honest with you, a lot of women, when it comes to situations like this in cliquish, friend group type situations, they are fucking followers, and they will save their own ass socially by throwing you under the bus or doing some funny shit towards you, even when they know or when it's not that deep. And now granted, my cousin's friends have more loyalty to each other because they know her, they don't know me. I'm just like a mutual friend of their friend, so I get that, like, they don't owe me shit. But at the same time, what ended up happening is that for that whole time up until that point, all of the other three girls were saying that they were going to come to my birthday. Then all of a sudden, the day before, I asked them, oh, do you want me to make a group chat so I can give y'all the information? So I asked them, like, on Instagram private messages, and then I was going to make an iMessage group chat, and I was like, oh, are y'all still going tomorrow so I can send all the information? And they're like, oh, actually, it turns out I'm gonna have to work a full night shift at the hospital, because that's another thing, they're all in nursing, and they all are baddie get money bitches. Mind you, BB is not like that. And I'm not trying to diss her, but I'm just gonna say she's not like that. She's not in nursing, she's not in anything health related, health fields, gym, healthy eating, nothing health related she's into. So she's just very out of place in that whole friend group. Because if you know anything about women that work in the medical field, or that work any type of caregiving, that's a certain lifestyle too, and they tend to roll with each other. So it's like, when you don't, even I don't really fit into that group, because that's not my field either. So it's just interesting that they all nurses, and I'm not gonna say what BB does, but it's not anywhere in the same level type of thing. So it's just like, I kind of feel like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like, based on stuff that my cousin Sierra has told me, I also feel like she kind of sometimes feels some type of way about the friend group too, and she knows that she don't really fit in. And so, like, if she feels like it's gonna be a situation where they going out to nightlife or to a party or something like that, like, she either won't go, and then we'll try to be like, oh, well, y'all sure y'all want to go? I mean, it's so far, like, it's all that driving, and oh my gosh, like, the dudes there's gonna be ugly or whatever. Like, I already, like, I've heard that she's like that, so I'm kind of not surprised that she tried. Looking back, I'm not surprised that she kind of tried to sabotage my birthday, because when I really thought about it, is that other times when we had all gone out to the club for other girls' birthdays, which is the only reason I invited them, they had invited me to their birthdays, so I was reciprocating the favor. So it's not like I was just being mad thirsty or anything. I was simply like, you invited me, I came out for your birthday, you come out for my birthday. So that was another reason why I felt like it was fucked up for them to turn around and be like, oh, we can't go anymore because it turns out we have to work, and I wish I could make it. And like, they both use that excuse of work, when, mind you, they had both told me the whole month prior to leading up to the day before, they had all told me, oh, well, I get off around like 9 or so, I get off around this time, I can come afterward. And then one of them was like, oh, well, I'm gonna be so tired, I probably won't be able to make it. Then the other one said she had to work double time. So I already know y'all was in the group chat keying and basically calling me a racist. So I'm really supposed to now of sudden believe that both of y'all managers told y'all you have to stay or you can't. It's just like, that just, and a lot of people will try to make it seem like, that's trivial or just like silly for me to even still be like thinking about that situation, or to take anything from it. But like, that just, it doesn't feel good. And especially doesn't feel good when when you already know somebody has a bias against you and they're misrepresenting a place you chose. Because if you're saying that a club that I chose is colorist and that they only let Spanish people in, inherently you're saying that I chose a club that's a reflection of me. That's a reflection of my judgment. So regardless if you saying it about me or not, you saying that about a place that I chose. So it's weird. So it makes it, and you not even including me in the discussion or asking me to quote unquote like defend my choice or whatever. Like, not, you get what I mean? Like, you're not even having a conversation with me about it. And it's like, we have our own relationships outside of my cousin, to where if that was a concern of hers, she could have said something to me about it. She didn't say anything to me about it directly, because it really wasn't a fucking concern, because the bitch didn't want anybody to go anyway. She didn't want to go, and she didn't want her friends to go either. So she had to say something to scare them out of going. And she knows that a lot of Dominicans specifically, but Afro-Latinos, have a reputation of being anti-black woman and being colorist. So she knew she could play off those emotions, coupled with the fact that we already know she don't like light-skinned black people anyways, and she's not even from New York, so she's ignorant to the social, the situation here anyways. So it's a lot of the typical lightist tactics that they tend to use and weaponize against light-skinned people. So yeah, like 24 hours before we're supposed to go out, BB finally responds to my messages made within the last 2 weeks that she had dates to respond to. So she sends this bent up ratty ass, 25 times screenshot of what she claimed to be a Yelp comment. I'm gonna see if I can put the comment on the screen, because I might still have it on my phone, because number one, to give y'all receipts and evidence that I don't be lying about this shit, because I'm sure there's some hater and some lightist that be listening to my videos and listening to the videos of other light-skinned women, thinking, oh, these bitches are lying, they're over exaggerating, they're making shit up, da 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 da, these sneaky light-skinned bitches, we can't trust them, whoop de whoop. I wouldn't be surprised if they're saying that. So I don't care about proving what I'm saying. Everyone who has sense knows what I'm saying is true, and that this is a very plausible situation that could happen. But I still want to provide hardcore receipts. So I'm going to try to put the receipt on the screen, if I can find it. If I can't, whatever. But basically, the receipt said something along the lines of, basically, it was a commenter complaining that they only play Spanish music, and that I guess they had some type of dispute over bottle service, and they thought it was one price, but then they were told another price. That's literally what the screenshot said. It had nothing to do with race. It had nothing to do with them being kicked out the club because they were black or because they were dark skinned. It literally was the person complaining about going to a Dominican club, and then complaining that they were playing Spanish music, and then saying, oh, the bottle service they said was one price, and then it came out to be another price. Okay, people of all races complain about that all the time. Now, if you had told me they have seedy business practices and the music was whack, okay, then I maybe would have taken your advice and would have listened to what you're saying. But you was going around for 2 weeks saying that the place was racist and that they don't let black women in. Where are you getting that from? When she literally said, to begin with, she said, oh, I looked at the pictures and I only saw a bunch of light-skinned Dominicans there, so they're probably not gonna let us in. Like, girl, bye. And mind you, I don't even look like the people that are in that flyer, because there is a certain look of like Latin girls, Dominican girls that they choose for a lot of these clubs, that even I don't fit that aesthetic. But I don't run around living my life thinking, oh my gosh, because I don't look like the bottle service bitches in the club, they're gonna treat me some type of way. That's just so stupid, in my opinion. And I don't even I don't even put it past, I don't even blame somebody for wanting to be treated with respect in clubs and by other cultures. That's not the problem. The problem is that you essentially making something out of nothing and inserting a situation where there is none, because you looking for a situation, because you looking for a reason to be outraged. And the reason you're looking to be outraged is to sabotage my birthday because you have an issue with light-skinned people. Let's be real. And I kind of jumped the gun, but basically what happened was that she finally responds to my message, and she's like, oh, hey, sorry, I've been really busy with the work these last few days, so I don't think I'll even be able to make it tonight because with XYZ bullshit excuse. So I don't think that I'll be able to make it. This was literally her message. But I just want you to know that I was doing some research on the club that you chose, and I did see some questionable stuff, and I did see some stuff that says that they might be colorist. So I just wanted to let you know, because I thought that it would be important if we're all going to go, since we're all black. And so I just wanted to let you know. So even though I'm not going to go tonight, here's the screenshot of what I found about the club. But I hope you have fun tonight and happy birthday. But girl, bye. you goofy ass bird. If you were so concerned genuinely about my birthday being ruined by Dominican colorists and about the place being racist towards African Americans, why did you wait till 24 hours to give me this information? Why was you sitting up in the group chat with your other friends 7+ days before this, kikiing and popping shit about the club? Why you didn't bring it to me, bitch? You got my Instagram, you got my cousin's information. You didn't even tell, you weren't even clear with her. You didn't even send this mythical screenshot to her. I'm still not even convinced that she even got the screenshot from the club that I was actually gonna go to. I wouldn't be surprised if she got that screenshot from Lipstick Alley or some shit. This is how desperate these chicks be to create a scenario out of nothing and to try to fuck shit up for light skinned people and to try to, you know, make Afro Latinos look bad. It's like they always trying to make something out of nothing. And it's like, you really don't even have to do that, because people of African descent have enough internal colorism and internalized anti-blackness enough. So you don't even have to make shit up. So you have to wonder, why do people have to find issues where there is no issue? If colorism and racism is such a prevalent issue in the world, just so anti-black woman, and it's so hard for you as, you know, an African American woman having to deal with all these light skins and these Dominicans, why are you having to make up evidence, and why are you having to ruin light skinned women's birthdays? You could just not include yourself in it. You could have never responded to my message. You could have just not wanted to even go. Like, that's what I don't understand about these women. Why even engage with us? Why even? It's like you're doing stuff to be spiteful, and then you turn around and say that we the ones erasing you and trying to do stuff to you. It's weird and bizarre. And people probably think, oh, you seem so mad, you seem upset about it. Yeah, I'm still not still upset about it, but I'm not gonna pretend like that doesn't still get to me, even though I have healed and like I can look back and laugh about the situation to an extent. Like, I'm not gonna act like it doesn't still irritate me, because that's just a microcosm of a lot of stuff that I've experienced with other black women and girls. Like, that's just a small thing. And so for it to happen on my birthday too, is like, it adds even more like insult to injury. And I feel like that's another reason why she did it, because quite as it's kept, a lot of lightists, they also want to humiliate light skinned people, and they also want light skinned people to remember like, oh, you're not that special. So if you do have like a special day coming up or something, they will find some way to try to diminish it. This is also why, like, if a light-skinned historical character is being praised for something, they always want to turn around and say, oh, well, they're only being praised for that because of colorism. They only got the opportunity because of colorism. There's like always trying to rain on your parade, basically. But anyways, me and my diverse friend group ended up going out for my birthday the next day. Everything went great. I had a great time. I, was living my best life. I got my little Patron bottles, my hookah. I was, doing it up. I got my little caravan singing happy birthday to me with the Spanish mommies. Like, I had a good night. Like, I'm not complaining. I had a good time. They treated me good. The prices were good. I enjoyed myself. So, they didn't miss out on nothing. I don't need that negative, weird bitch ass energy there anyway. Come to find out, since it's been like 3 or 4 years since this whole situation happened, come to find out, this woman, BB, is very male identified. She's down bad with a bum ass nigga that she's taking care of, that the nigga's mama even be telling her to not be with this dude. Like, you down bad when the nigga's mama is even telling you to stop fucking with him. Like, that's insane. And I'm not saying this, okay, yeah, I am saying this to be shady and to roast, but I'm also saying, like, honestly, these women be projecting, and to an extent I almost feel bad for them, because I just kind of like, I just get a very low self-esteem vibe from her, not only based on how she carries herself, but like also, like, honestly, when you see women that they clearly want to, or they clearly enjoy being around women who take care of themselves, who invest in their looks, who invest in their body, who are not dealing with bums, who are in completely different situations, who have these high earning positions, and you're just in a completely different mindset, completely different area in your life, you have to think that that's going to weigh on somebody's self-esteem and take a toll on how they feel about themselves, because unfortunately it's natural for humans to engage in downward or upward comparison if you not coming from a healthy mindset, and if you don't know how to regulate your feelings and emotions, that can get very toxic. So I can also be empathetic to BB in the same way too, because I feel like she still has some growing to do to, like, establish more self-love in herself, and get more confidence, self-esteem. And I feel like oftentimes, unfortunately, like, light-skinned people kind of become the scapegoat for some of these people's insecurities or internal problems. And so like we become like their kind of like target in a way, and then we end up feeling spiteful and resentful because we take it personal. And so then we end up internalizing that and like projecting those feelings back on other Black women, or even the ones that didn't necessarily do anything or are not lightest. So that's where it can get toxic, and then it becomes this really toxic scale where like everybody's basically like zapping each other with their like internalized issues and like projecting onto each other and stuff. So, I know I cussed her out in this video and, got my emotions out, but, I'm a human too. I'm entitled to feel the way I feel about things too. Shit affects me also. So, again, it's never any real disrespect or hate behind anything I say. This is just real shit and me venting. So get in the comment section and let me know what y'all thought about this story time. Have you ever been in a similar situation with weird bitches that was trying to sabotage a positive moment for yourself? And how would you have handled that situation if you were in my shoes? Because I really did not know how to. So thanks for all the support. Peace.